Ladies and gentlemen, Jubilee, but there's going to be a couple episodes here where it's going to be all about Jubilee, but it's going to be kind of boring. But we'll get to that in just a moment. I'm really, really tempted to do the suicide. I'm thinking about, I may dive into it. To me, it's got a World War II Japanese vibe to it. Well, the paint job here is clean. I know it's science fiction and all that, but I was thinking taking this plane, building it, but building it with like the World War II chipped metal and all that, having that shine through. I've seen some other ones that are a little more really chipped and weathered out, and I really, really consider doing that. So that probably be on the table next, but. While Jubilee drives, I can look at that and see what we need to do. So Jubilee, she's going to be two boring stages. One is sand and prime, and I got her all together, and I went ahead and I sanded most of everything down. You might be able to see where the little nubs are being sanded. I got that sanded to a point, but they're still going to be there on some places. Under the bosoms and right here in the chin, which is notorious for the little, I won't say injector marks, the growing arms from the 3D print. So, the boring stage, I want to sand and primer, and I'm going to put one more deal of primer on her because I had to go in. She fits, but the pegs need to be just a tad bit smaller so she fits flush. And as you can see with the white, I filled in the gap basically with, don't need putty. Tulip works just as good, which is thick acrylic paint. And you can either use that or plastic putty, which is the same. I think it's the same. The plastic putty may be a little more grainier maybe, but anyway, either or, whichever works. So I got that blended in. I'm basically waiting for it to dry thoroughly, and then I'm going to paint her one more coat of primer, which I use primer basically as a filler. I don't really classify it as a paint. And it's going to have basically a couple coats of primer on her, and I'll have to let her sit. But you can see the detail on her. She's pretty darn slick. And then, after she dries, and it's been like really cold here, so trying to get the paint to dry, we're going to paint her yellow. And that's basically her big coat is yellow, and of course, I ain't too worried about the tops and everything. But I need and I want to use rattle can on her yellow here, because I'm going to use the enamel paint here as a filler. And I'm going to basically coat her candy shell and use that as a filler, then go back in and we'll paint her, the flesh and her tops and all that good stuff. But anyway, it's going to be a couple of boring episodes, so you'll have to bear with me. We'll try to make it fun. Her base, which I think we're going to do the standard X Men, black and red. I think she'll pop. I think it'll look good with the yellow and the rest of Jubilee on there. But anyway, that's at the boring stage, and I thought I'd warn everyone before we get a little further ahead. So, and I'm hoping I can have time to paint the Joe figure, which everything's just hasn't worked out this week. It's been one of those weeks where every time you plan something and it just not worked out. But anyway, I wanted to show that because I'm at a point where if I don't show it, I'll be ahead of myself and all that good stuff. But anyway, that's what I got going on today, and I'm trying my darndest. I know everyone's doing like live streams and podcasts, which is kind of more of a blog B with the B. I bought this thing like 6 years ago. It's a condenser mic, and I've been wanting to like hang it from here and try to hook it up to the computer and camera and all that, so you could have a mic and wouldn't have the lapel and whatever. We'll just see how that goes. But anyway, that's what I got going on today, so stay tuned for the next exciting episode.